All right, this weekend on the Community Update, the latest ACT production called The Nerd is going on this weekend and also next weekend. And we're going to sit down and talk with some of the cast members, and we're talking right now with who?
Oh, Joe Davis.
Joe Davis. Now, Joe, if I pan back a little bit here, it's kind of a unique outfit you're wearing, and you're playing, obviously, you're the nerd.
Yeah, I'm the nerd.
What should we know about the nerd?
Well, it's very funny play. It's very quick paced. As you can see, it's a stereotypical nerd that comes to visit an old friend, and then it's just kind of like the wild things that happened during his visit. And there's a little twist at the end, so
Okay.
I don't want to give away the twist, but it has a lot of physical comedy, pretty much, and a lot of one-liners going back and forth, so it's a lot of fun.
And the one thing we talked about off the air, and we're not going to do it now because we want to save it, make people come to see it, but when you are on stage as the nerd, the voice they're hearing right now will be totally different, won't it?
Oh, completely
Yeah.
different.
Okay, so we don't want to give that away.
Right.
All right, now, people, you've been in other ACT productions, so this isn't your first rodeo. What attracts you to this one?
This one, it was to work with the directors who were directing it, and when I read the script, I thought it was very funny. So I thought it would be a whole lot of fun, and so we're having a lot of fun with the other actors and stuff like that, so I'm enjoying it a lot.
I'm assuming when you tried out for this production, ACT production, the nerd, this is the role you wanted, I'm assuming?
I just wanted a role in it. There was a couple that I thought that I might fit, but they had me read this one several times, and like I said, there's a different voice to it altogether.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably what got me into the role, was because I was able to change the voice a little bit.
How much of the nerd is like you in real life?
Let's see. I'm kind of a lame brain sometimes. As you get older, you start to forget things a lot, and this character forgets things and says things that he doesn't really know that he's talking about, whatever. But so it's just really funny. I don't know if I can compare myself to him very much, because he's really off the wall.
Okay.
That's why it's so fun to play, because it's completely different than yourself. So.
We're probably not getting an opportunity to talk with all the cast. We're going to try to talk with most of the cast, but keeping that in mind, talk about the surrounding cast around you. Talk about that for me, if you don't mind.
Oh, this group of people, this is one of the funnest groups of people that I've ever worked with. They're very, very patient, because we've all had to learn a lot of lines in a short amount of time. We had a slow start of rehearsals, so because everybody was busy, but everybody looks out for each other. They help each other on stage. Everyone likes each other. That's probably the most important thing. There's no diva, there's no star in the show. It's an ensemble piece. Everybody works together. If we don't work together, I don't think the play would work very well. But since everybody, is kind of like a team, it's kind of like a sport, feels like it.
As you and I are sitting down, we're about 24 hours before your first show on Thursday night, October 6th. I'm assuming the cast is ready to go right now?
Yeah, we're working out a few technical stuff right now, but yeah, we're ready.
And I believe you also talked about very early in the interview that Rocky Shutter kind of was one of the reasons you decided to jump on the boat, so to speak.
Yeah, I've done I've done some shows with him before, and he's always fun to work with, and always puts out good stuff. So I just thought I'd help him out and try out for the play, and I'm having a really good time.
It's called The Nerd. It's the latest ACT production. It's going on this weekend and also next weekend. And this, if we pan back, you can see you are definitely dressed as the nerd. As we wrap it up, without giving away the nerd, obviously, when you look ahead to the first show Thursday night, maybe a favorite part of the show you're looking forward to, you really enjoy the most. Anything jump out?
Yeah, there's a dinner scene that's very funny. They're trying to put one over on the nerd, so they do a lot of really silly stuff, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's probably my favorite part of the play.
Hey, sitting down, thank you for talking with me. I appreciate it. I'm very short notice. Appreciate you doing this. Thank you so
Thanks.
much.
No problem.
All right, the latest ACT production, The Nerd, is going on as we sit down this weekend. It's also going on next weekend. We're talking with one of the cast members, Jerry Fusianis. Jerry, I asked you a little bit about your role in The Nerd, and in 10 words or less, you say you play kind of a boring guy, huh?
Well, actually, I play an interesting guy to Willem, who's the boring guy.
All
so
right.
Willem is our protagonist, and it's going to be a pretty funny show. But Axel really shakes things up to get Willem to come out of the shell.
What attracts you to this role?
It's a comedic role, but it's a lot more sight gags than it is just simple words, and I find that a lot more interesting than just trying to be a wordsmith, but to make it funny visually.
Before you tried out for The Nerd, were you familiar with The Nerd, how it went, how it was? Were you familiar at all with The Nerd?
No, not at all, actually. Reading the script for the first time, it was very interesting, and it seemed like a lot of fun, and it's proven to be that way, yeah.
You've worn a lot of hats for ACT. What hat do you prefer?
Well, I definitely feel more drawn to the technical part of it, to helping with lights and sound and set design. That's kind of interesting to me. But starting in June, Bridget Owens and I have taken over the leadership roles. So I serve as president, she serves as vice president as we take the ACT to the next part of its history. We're hoping to get that new theater open soon.
Now, is this show for everybody?
I think so. I think it's written in a 70s, 80s context, so there are some references that maybe very young people wouldn't get, but it still would be funny, but I don't think it would make as much sense. But it's got enough visual humor and excellent timing that I think everyone could enjoy it.
Looking at your cast, a lot of ACT experience, a cast with a lot of chemistry. Looking at it from the outside, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. We have Elise Von Hayden, who just finished her role as Patsy Cline.
Exactly.
Amazing
Yeah.
role. Joey's been with us on a couple of shows. He was in Barefoot in the Park, as well as, he helped direct, I believe it was Marrying Walt. He was part of that cast too, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Joey's been with us for a while, and just such a funny guy. It's definitely worth just coming to see this guy come and bring his A game.
Favorite part of The Nerd you look forward to come Thursday night, which is about 24 hours away as you and I sit down?
I would say first the drink after the show is always my favorite part.
I understand. I'm
But
with you. Yeah.
this one it's fun. I'm hoping that it's as much fun for everyone in the audience as it is for us on stage. So the part I'm looking forward to is just showing it off and having everyone enjoy it the way we are.
Switch gears for a second here. At the end of this month, you mentioned Dr. B. She has another Bingo Palooza going on.
She does.
At the end of this month, correct?
Boy, that lady can really deliver too. That is such a fun thing. She has these baskets that from all our local businesses, and one of the things about bingo that if you haven't been to it that you really should consider is that it is not what it sounds like. It's fun on all levels. The baskets, the humor, the relaxation. Everyone really has a great time, and we help raise money for different things. This time it'll be for the ACT.
One of the things you touched on earlier, Jerry, you had your banquet recently. Unfortunately, I was out of town to be here. But the big news that came out of it is people are not aware of it. The building is now paid for, and you have an idea what direction you want to go, don't you?
Yeah, we do. First, you can't say that without acknowledging the tremendous efforts of a number of people. I mean, we all know Sharon Larkin and Terry and their history and how dedicated they've been to this building, this project. But there's countless others from the history of this. I've been trying as best I can to study the history of the ACT from its Fort McCoy origins to arriving here on Superior to eventually landing in this building. And as we move to the next phase, it is our goal to start looking to build our new theater. How soon? Boy, I've got a dream for it to happen real soon, but that depends a whole lot on how well we can finance and create the financial environment that makes it right. But it'll be right out there, and we're looking for a 300-seat theater and to turn this more into a community arts center. You know it as a theater, and you know it as having some banquet halls, but we want to try to revitalize it and bring in a lot of our local talent for teaching sound
Sure.
and music and lights and dance, all of that we're hoping to accomplish, and turn it into more of a community arts center, but still stay true to the original mission, which is the area community theater.
I think you hit on the head a moment ago. I mean, we could be here all day naming people
Yeah.
that have made this all happen. It didn't happen overnight, did it?
It didn't, no, and, I think, to Sharon's credit, she spends a lot of time making sure that spotlight's on our donors, and we do
Yes,
appreciate them.
yes.
And historically, I think at times, in order for us to have this building and to make it successful, we rely a lot on our donors, but the next phase is going to be certainly not discouraging that, but to try to find other revenue streams that allow us to sustain ourselves and continue to be of value to the community and to Monroe County as a whole.
The changes are coming in the near future, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Jerry, thank you for sitting down and taking time. Jerry Fusianis, another one of the cast members of the Nerd going on this weekend and next weekend. Jerry, again, thank you for making time. I know you're very busy.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Greg.
All right, we're talking with one of the directors for the latest ACT production. It's called The Nerd Rocky. It's going on this weekend and next weekend. We had hoped to sit down before now, but it just did not work out. But we talked with a couple, what you would call the main cast members a moment ago, right?
That's correct.
But it's a big cast, and it's a cast that seems to have a lot of chemistry. And Jerry and I kind of talked about it. You agree with that?
Yeah, without chemistry between some of the main characters, the play would not be a success. And I'm very fortunate. I have a wonderful cast of people, many of them I've worked with before in other shows. And it was just really nice to be able to bring them all together to do this particular play.
Rocky, I know when you've directed for ACT and you've done a lot of that, there's some thought into what you do. How much thought went into doing The Nerd?
Well, I don't know if you're aware of this, Greg, but I've directed this. This is my third time directing the show.
I knew ACT had done it before, yes.
I did it at when we were in Building 1255 at Fort McCoy back in the 80s. And then for a period of time before I retired from teaching, I was given the task of directing the high school plays. And so I did it with a group of high school students who really enjoyed it. And we actually got to put on part of the play as part of an assembly in the high school. And I don't think everybody was really excited about going. And then at the end of the afternoon, they have to be dismissed because their buses come. And a few people were going, oh, I don't want to miss the rest of this play. These are the people that were like grumbling about going. So I thought, that's cool. I'm happy that they're enjoying it because it is hysterical. The play is very good. And now I feel like I've come full circle. I don't think I'll direct this again, but this is, each cast is different and they each bring their own unique qualities to the play, but they've all been very endearing. So yeah, third time to do this.
And talking with Jerry a little bit off the air, you said a lot of the show, which I've not seen yet, a lot of times just about everybody's on stage. Is that a fair assumption?
Oh, we have a couple scenes when everyone is on stage.
That's what I mean, yeah.
And there is one character, it's a young boy, Charlie Hilton.
I'd like you to talk about him because I met the young man in the dressing room. Obviously, we're not doing an interview with him, but talk about him if you don't mind.
Well, we had quite a few young children come in and audition for the part of Thor, and Thor is not the nicest little boy. In fact, Jerry's character, Axel, calls him the poster child for Planned Parenthood.
Okay.
That's how he refers to him. And he, in real life, off the stage, he is the nicest and the most polite child. He's not on stage that much, but when he is, he makes the most out of it. And I really think that, now this is his second show he's done for ACT. He did Bye Bye Birdie this summer, they did that show, and he was in that. And he can't come to rehearsal all the time now because he's getting ready to do Matilda Junior, the middle school musical.
Oh,
And
certainly,
he's gonna do
certainly.
that after he's finished with this play. So, what do we do? We're ready to roll. You start.
All right, Rocky, we had a temporary blackout here that we were not anticipating, but we were talking about the young man that's in the play. If you want to continue that, please?
Sure. Like I said, he has been involved with, the last few months, he's gone from like one musical to the next. And he is somebody that I say, he has charisma. He's just really, but he has moments on the play, in the play where he's so exasperating and his parents don't know what to do with him. And his dad in the play, that's Warnock Walgrave. Every character has a very interesting name. He offers him $50 because Thor runs in the bedroom and locks the door. He says, I'll give you $50 if you come out. So he's treating him like, you know, he would a business
Sure.
associate. So,
Okay, we're not planning any more blackouts, hopefully, but let's briefly talk about your female cast members. A lot of ACT experience if you put it all together. And people are going to recognize a lot of the names, aren't they?
well, yes, and I can honestly say that I have some connections with these people. First of all, Elise Von Hayden, who plays Tansy. Last year I worked with her. She played Patsy Cline in Always Patsy Cline, and she was just phenomenal. I had her as a student in 4th grade, so I have kept in touch with her through the years, and she discovered she liked to act, and oh boy, can she sing.
Yeah.
Really, when you hear her sing, she sounds like she's Patsy Cline. So she and I have kind of a history together. And then Lena Chafee plays Clelia Walgrave, Thor's mother. And she has never been on our stage before. She has done a lot of the Passion play. They do it at Bethel Baptist Church. She takes a very active role in that. But she and I would work together many years. I don't know if you're familiar, we would do the elementary musicals.
absolutely,
And I would
yes.
direct
Yeah.
the directing part with the drama, and she would always do the choreography. She came up with the best dances. It was amazing. And so we've been friends for a long time. She was a teacher at Wyville. She taught 2nd grade. She's retired now, and I called her and said, you've got to try out for this part. And, oh, no, I don't think I can do it. But she can, and she's very, very good. So, very funny, too.
I'm missing one more female cast member.
No, it's
correct?
just the two. There's
Just
2
those
women
two?
and then
Okay.
five guys.
All right, to wrap it up with Rocky Shard, the ACT production, The Nerd, is currently going on this weekend, also going on next weekend. Let's briefly talk about it. I talked about with Jerry Fusianis a moment ago. ACT, the building is paid for. He talked about it, but that's a big burden off your back, isn't it?
You have no idea, and that's a good way to express it. To have that mortgage paid off and to be thinking, you know, planning for the future. What can we do? I mean, the possibilities are endless. You know, we could add on to this theater, build a new theater if we chose. I mean, the sky is the limit. And our board is very, very happy. A lot of that, I just want to mention, Sharon Larkin did a lot of spearheading to get this campaign. We called it Burn the Mortgage. And she and Barb Sullivan, who's our treasurer, they worked very, very hard to make this happen. So, yeah, it is, I'm on cloud 9. That's the best way I can describe it.
ACT production, The Nerd, and I asked Jerry Fusianis. This is a show for the whole family, is it? Hope for the whole family?
Yes, for the most part. I mean, there's a few parts that will probably go over the kids' heads, but the language is somewhat inappropriate, but not very often. I would caution parents to let their kids know that, but
Yeah.
the kids would love the play. If it were me, I would take out all those words, and, well, they don't need to be in there, I don't think, but you have to be aware of that. I don't want parents to bring their kids and go, we didn't realize this has language like that. It's not that bad.
Rocky, one thing we haven't talked about, I'm assuming when you and I get done, we're gonna maybe show little bits and pieces of the show. Is that okay, or aren't we going that direction?
You're welcome to do whatever you want, Greg.
Okay.
We're opening tomorrow,
Right,
and
that's
so
what I mean,
I
yeah.
gotta focus on what's going on the stage. But you are welcome to
So we'll
take.
just kind of show bits and pieces, little teasers if
Well,
you
what
don't
you've
mind.
done in the past is good,
Okay.
okay? Are we ready to get started?
We are ready.
Okay.
Thank
so-
you, Rocky.
Video.
Thank you, Rocky, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, once again,
Tired and that we should come up here early, get things started, make the salad, clean up a little.
Inflate all the whoopee cushions.
All the niceties, right.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Well, happy birthday, buddy.
thank you.
Well,
I should just give up my career to shelve a man's books.
okay, so the man's a little sloppy, fair enough, but if that's what you don't like about him,
There's nothing that I don't like about him. Willem is wonderful. He's talented and he's the gentlest man I've ever known. Absolutely.
Oh, this is my wife, Claudia. Oh, very nice. And what is it that you do again?
I work with slow learners.
Yeah, right. And you've met Tansy?
Tansy, hi.
And
Moravec,
oh,
please. AJ Moravec, it's his little friend.
he has a friend named A.J. Moravec. You see, because that's funny, because Willem, he has friends named Dean the Bean and Pinky and Wink and, funny names like that. Wouldn't
Adult, he will respond as an adult.
Thor, if you come out, I'll give you $30.
Ticky.
I can spare it.
How about it?
It says, what do you think?
Oh, I really hate to be the kind of guy that says I really liked it better before, but I really
liked
liked it better before.
Yeah, I did keep a few things though.
Yeah?
Yeah. Say, are you gonna be staying in here?
Yeah, Jack.
Angry and then he gets angry with me. It's just so. Oh, I know. I know. Cute. But then he becomes just that much more stubborn.
And all that stuff around the windows. Get rid of it. We're in business. What's the problem?
Yeah, I just feel like if we get rid of the molding, it's gonna start looking like a lot of other buildings.
Monster!
Oh, what? All right, son. You know I can put up with a lot. But I do not put up with a liar! Claudia!
Who's ready to show us a hotel?
Tansy? None right now.
Yeah, is this 2255 River Road?
What? What?
What's going on?
What?
What is going on?
Why was I hiding?
I mean, what? Huh?
Fine. He thought my wife and I are in Halloween costumes. You call that fine?
Well, no, now I think he was just, a little confused, maybe. It's dinner time. Food is ready. Follow me into the kitchen.
Consumer
Axel.
market research.
For like what?
Oh, I help companies make decisions about products that they need to get rid of.
Like what kind of products?
Well, take for instance 32 flavors. Well, now 31 flavors. You see, they were losing a ton of money, and I helped them get rid of their least popular flavor.
What was the flavor?
Berry and Crunch. It was kind of a dark, thick. It was
I gave it to her and then I asked her to marry me.
Oh, how sweet.
Yeah, she was real nice about it, but she had to say no,
Oh, how sad.
Yeah, and then she told her parents about it and they got real mad. It was probably kind of, dumb of me, I guess.
No, it wasn't. It was very sweet.
You think so?
Absolutely,
Really?
of course. Trip. Has everybody played that?
I don't know.
Yes. All right. So how you play is the first person starts with the letter A. So I went on a trip and I brought an apple, for instance.
I played this. I played this.
Went on a trip and I brought an apple. What the hell?
Oh, an apple.
All right. Okay.
for
And
apple.
Clelia. I went on a trip and I brought an apple and a basket.
Basket.
For the apples, right? Okay. And Axel.
I went on a trip and I brought an apple, basket, and a cucumber.
All right, my turn. I went on a trip and I brought an apple and a basket. What was that?
I don't know.
Keep humming, keep humming.
Hey, don't push it, pal. The Regency, Mr. Walgrave. Think of the hotel. Godless party pooper. Is that what I am? A godless party pooper?
No, what you are is a good guy, and now you're paying for it.
Oh, well, if I'm so good, why do I feel so bad?
I mean, you should have told him to take a hike.
But I owe him my life.
I know.
Give me a hand here.
Clelia, here. You may need these.
Thank you. One will do.
All right, we're leaving, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
May we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, and the rocket's red